University's profile, and if you can bear with me, I'm the director of global enrollment. So all the campuses that Webster has, we'll talk about them. I kind of like coordinate and make sure that all. Are you able to see it now? Okay, just wait for a moment. I restarted showing my screen. Are you able to see it now? Wow, okay. Let me turn off the webcam and see if you can see the screen. All right. Here? Not yet?
Samrat, I can see your screen. If you can just go on, like you can just expand that particular presentation page, that would be fair enough. Good to go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
it's
to go?
absolutely fine now. Yes,
All right.
good.
Fantastic. So Webster University has the main campus is in United States, as I was mentioning. And in the US, we have several metro campuses, of which we find that the California and the Florida campuses have a lot of interest in the student body from India and other parts of Asia. But St. Louis, being the main campus, of course, is very, very important. We have multiple campuses, and if you see the St. Louis, the US campuses, we have 150 different odd nationalities in this campus. And even in a country like Asia, if you see in Thailand, we have 55 different student nationalities. So we are quite diverse. We are quite, I would say, in our student population, we are very, very diverse. So that's something to keep in mind. These are the 5 schools, and today we are going to talk mostly about the Walker School of Business and Technology. I listed some of the programs where we feel in business and STEM-based programs, these are the most, I would say, popular programs. And management, business administration are the traditional programs which are very popular. Data analytics for Webster is an excellent program, and this is something where it is exceptionally good, and the students are finding it very, very informative and useful for their career progression for both bachelor's as well as master's degree. For information systems and information management systems or information technology are also other programs that are there in the business area. I'm just highlighting the ones which I feel are good for students who are coming internationally and would like to find OPT opportunities in the United States, and particularly about in St. Louis. But if you see the programs, there are lots of departments, and each department has several majors. These are some in the bachelor's degree where it is falling under the Pro School of Business and Technology. And if you see the program Entrepreneurship, that is one program which we are highly recommending. So if you came to study at Webster and if you say, let's say you did data analytics as your minor and entrepreneurship as your major, or vice versa, or maybe you can do computer science as your major and entrepreneurship as your minor, or you can do gaming as your major and entrepreneurship as your minor, and several permutation and combinations like that. It prepares you to be a very, very well-rounded individual who can not just work for companies, but when it comes to the time of opening your own, you can do it. So a lot of Indians nowadays, they are becoming entrepreneurs, and I personally feel that this is going to be an era, an age of not doing just jobs for companies, but creating your own businesses. So take a look at that kind of a program when you're doing to stand out. You know, it's very important that you choose a program that is for the future and not for the past. So I think you need to embrace programs which are for this age and which is going to have a shelf life beyond beyond the next few years, so that you can find it useful in your career. In master's degree, a lot of you, I see about 40 odd people around, so I guess a lot of you are going for master's programs. Webster has a tremendous number of master's programs in the business and technology areas. HR is always very good to study. Nonprofit leadership is emerging as a very good program. Change leadership as well, and finance. Gerontology, for example, is a very offbeat program, but a master's degree in that will allow you to manage old people, you know, and this is also a service that is developing in India. For example, you look at a place like Kerala, you know, like a lot of people are abroad and their parents are older and they have the money, but they're looking for services. So gerontology management would help you to discover areas how you can help set up businesses and also provide service for older people. So this is a very emerging field. It's a hot field, and we would want you to think out of the box and go for programs that are really in demand nowadays, both in India as well as United States and rest of the world as well. So programs like that might be very useful. Webster is a pretty strongly ranked university. We ranked number 18th in our own category of universities by the US News and World Report. All our business programs are ACBSP accredited. We are pretty much you know, as a regional university, we have a strong record of 100 years. And for lots of you who do not know much about St. Louis as a city, this is what you can find the latest research and surveys are showing. So many of you might know LinkedIn, and LinkedIn published a survey on the cities where you should launch your career in the United States. And if you see this survey, which is available online in LinkedIn, in their sites, so Webster is located in St. Louis, and St. Louis is the #1 city to start or to launch your career. So for those of you who want to dream the American dream, they're possibly making St. Louis a choice would mean that they are very important. And why is it important? Because St. Louis is growing. It's not saturated, right? It is very international. There are lots of international companies. There are lots of international people in St. Louis. For example, you must have heard of MasterCard. The headquarters of MasterCard is in St. Louis. If you drink beer, Budweiser beer, the brewery's headquarter is St. Louis, and like that, many other international firms are in St. Louis. We have a lot of diversity. We have full of startups. You know, St. Louis has a lot of startups happening. There's a thing called Cortex here, where we are seeing a lot of incubations of businesses and startups. So this is a place where a lot of companies are coming and doing their work. We are very successful in terms of keeping the costs low, and the cost of renting a house in St. Louis is lower than, let's say, you know, in Chicago or Houston or of course New York and other places. Now, mind you that Webster does have campuses in all these places, but still we recommend St. Louis, the main campus, to be where you should look for progressing, you know. And I just wanted to briefly tell you that we are very easy for admissions processing. We are a GPA-based university, so you need to have your results. You need to do well in that. We need an IELTS and TOEFL, usually a 6.0 and above, you're good enough. We do need a letter of recommendation, but during COVID, we are not being very strict about it. We do not need a SAT, GMAT, or a GRE for program admissions purposes, but if you have those, you might be able to get better scholarships. We take applications throughout the year. Our program start dates are every 2 months for graduate and twice in a year for undergraduate. So if you're not comfortable starting in August, for example, because of the COVID situation, if you're a master's degree student, you can always start in October or January, whenever it is the best for you to start. Our tuition fee is very reasonable for undergraduate. We offer scholarships between $8,000 and $15,000 per year, so it can make your tuition burden as low as $13,000 or $15,000 a year, which is really, really affordable. For graduate, our tuition credits are about $750 per credit. The programs are 36 credits, so you do the maths, it comes about $25,000 for a typical 2-year program or a 1.5-year program. So it's not very expensive for the category and for the quality of education that we provide. During the times of COVID, I'm sorry, I'm rushing it very, very much. I'm aware of it, but Abhi, despite being a friend, you gave me only 15 minutes. So I'm gonna try and slow down a little bit. How are we doing in terms of time, Vaishnavi?
Absolutely fine. Please go
Fine.
ahead.
Thank you. All right. So Webster and COVID, we have classes which are offered online. We have reduced the tuition price, which is going to be the online during this pandemic. Students who are starting with Webster, till you get your visa, pretty much you don't have to make a big commitment in terms of financial commitment. So we have made flexibilities in that thing. So we are trying to make sure that students who are genuine and who are wanting to start do not have to, wait, because at this point of time, you don't know how long that wait is. So they can start taking reduced load, improve their perspective in terms of, the courses. And we know that till you are getting your visa, you're not really sure about whether you will get it or not. So that's why we wanted to make sure that there are caveats whereby if you do not get your visa, you do not make a tremendous amount of financial loss. So we have kept that in mind. We have made a payment plan process. We have made sure that we address those kinds of concerns. So this is good for all of you at Study Metro also to know that Webster's online classes, if students are starting in August in St. Louis, they can start so without making a huge tuition payment. I don't think any other university has thought through that process, because we know that till you get a visa, you will have apprehensions about making payments. So that is something which we have done at Webster, which is possibly the only university to have thought it at that much. And we are very confident about our quality of class. So we feel confident that you will come and you will like it. And if your profile matches, then you get your visa too. And we have many campuses. I will come to this slide last. We have many campuses across the world. These are the campuses. So for example, Abhi just mentioned that we have students in Greece. Just to let you know, yesterday, I got the news that about 48 visas were approved for the Netherlands campus. So we are also in that part of the world. So Greece and Netherlands are also very fine places to start your academics. Thailand is excellent for that purpose too. Switzerland, if you have the financial resources, I'll recommend that. So for Austria as well. But Netherlands and Greece are particularly good options for you in Europe, particularly because the cost is affordable, and our recruiting partners there, Global University Systems, of which, of course, Abhi is also working very closely. Study Metro is working closely with them. So for those campuses also, there are very good opportunities, and you should look at it in case United States is not your option. So just for your thinking, let's say some of you are planning to go to the United States and you're thinking, oh, what should I do? You can always apply for Webster in United States. And if by chance it doesn't work out, you can always go and study in Netherlands or Greece. And as you may be aware of, in Netherlands, the visas is provided already. It's a permit which is issued by IND in Netherlands. So you are not going to go to the embassy and say no. You will have some documents already with you to show it, and the university does that work for you. So it is kind of a more assured way of getting a visa rather than there, and it's a very simple process. So I can of course educate you more during our chat room conversations, but keep that in mind as an option. Thailand, a lot of Indian students go to Thailand. They stay there for a year or a semester if you're a master's degree student, and then hop to the United States or to Europe. We see that happening all the time. fairly good visa approval rates for those kinds of places. These are some of the campuses. We own all our international campuses, well, pretty much all except China. And these are run as full campuses, not just a small room in some kind of a, inside a university. So these are full-fledged campuses. You see some of them in Greece, also a beautiful location. And that's pretty much it. And now I wanted to show, if I have 4 minutes more, I wanted to show you a little bit about the Webster's student life, so you get a glimpse of that. And then we move on to any questions. If you don't have none, that's fine too.
I chose Webster because of the small class sizes.
I like the one-on-one attention. They really do reach out to help you.
Webster University is the true definition of a melting pot.
When I'm here, I feel at home.
The campus is beautiful and it's really small, so if you're walking somewhere, you always see somebody that you know, and the walk is never too far.
It's just so convenient to be on campus and be right next to all your classes and get so much more involved with. Or in the morning, just playing games, chatting it up. College is not just about getting the degree, it's about developing as an individual, as an independent person, and developing socially and interacting with people.
Living on campus, Webster University has one of the newest residential campuses in the entire Midwest. They've got community lounges, study rooms on every floor, free laundry, and an awesome residential life staff to help you feel at home away from home.
Known as the living room of the university center is the place to hang out with friends, eat, study, attend events, and watch the Gorloks in action.
It's the home of student organizations, campus activities, athletics, student government, student affairs, the pool, and the fitness center. Need a place to study? Check out Emerson Library, which features a 24-hour cyber cafe, Caldy's Coffee, and several study rooms. Or if you just want to relax, there's a video game room, and of course, movies, books, and music, all available for checkout. The library also hosts an amazing staff who will help you out with all your library needs.
Staff at Career Services is here to empower you to independently look for internships, part-time and full-time positions, as well as set up your Gorlock Jobs account so you can look for employment on and off campus.
Academic Resource Center provides one-on-one support for mentors and arranges special academic accommodations. It houses the Writing Center if you need help with the paper. And you can also find a tutor, take makeup tests, and seek guidance from a professional counselor.
Are you commuting to school? Check out the recently created commuter lounge in the North Wing of Spiritual.
Here you can find information on the Commuter Council, the student organization developed by commuters for commuters.
If you're in the mood for some entertainment, head on over to the Loretto Hilton Center and grab a ticket for one of the many great shows the Conservatory or the Repertory Theater of St. Louis has to offer.
Discounted tickets are available at the box office for students with a Webster ID. Feeling hungry but enjoy having a variety of foods all in the same place? Marletto's Marketplace, located on campus in Maria Hall, offers a huge selection of fresh menu items from our Mongolian grill and other stations. Classic, sizzle, Pietanza pasta, pizza bar, and the fresh salad bar.
Located in the heart of Webster's campus, the Quad is a hotspot for campus activities and events throughout the school year. It's also a great place to relax, play some guitar, or even play Frisbee.
I would definitely tell the incoming students to get involved on campus and try something that they've never done before.
I'd tell the student to make sure they get out of the dorm room and experience the college life.
Really just don't wait to get involved, because you create these lasting friendships and relationships, and you really learn as much from the extracurricular activities here as you do from the classroom.
So thank you. That